everybody, it's your boy Heavy Starch coming to you with a new project I just completed. This is the Air Warriors Brute. I like it, love it. Okay, let's get started on this. Okay, I did this Brute. Basically, I searched high and low and I finally found it at Cabela's, also with a stack of Sentinels that I sent to friends, you know, the butt ugly blasters. So basically, stock right out of the box. If you go to a video by another nerfer from Missouri, Auto Nerf, and he has a channel on YouTube called Blaster Mods. Now he did a side-by-side comparison between the Brute and the Rapid Strike, and Brute came on top. Now, mind you, I said stock out of the box. Now, this particular blaster uses another nerfer pointed out, Bob pointed out that the pusher mech, which you'll see, you know, by this big appendage on the side, is the same pusher mechanism that's used in the Tommy 20, except it's just a different placement of the battery tray. Now, the mods that are done on this are pretty much simplistic. The wiring was thick enough to handle the voltage. There's only one resistor, and that's like in the corner of the battery tray. And Air Warriors, you know, Busby, they did their thing. Now on this thing, I corrected a few things that I thought needed to be corrected. Now the flywheels are grooved. You know, they're grooved flywheels like the old Tommy 20. The only problem is when you get the flywheels, you see some of they have indentations where it's supposed to be holes, but they weren't drilled out. Like a couple of them are like they wanted to lighten the flywheels, and then they couldn't decide at the last second. So basically what I did was I drilled the holes out of the flywheels and lightened them. Then you see the paint. So the paint is gunmetal, and the one noticeable difference on mine is the grip. Now this grip is the identical grip that you'll find on the Vortex Proton. Now what I did was I had a bootleg Proton, so it looked like a Proton except it shot darts. So I basically cut the grip off, and this grip on, as you know, on Air Warriors blasters is so tiny that I could actually trim it down and sandwich it, you know, the two halves on here, and looked kind of ugly after I did it, you know, because you know, putty and all of that stuff filling in cracks. So what I did was I wrapped it with snakeskin. So I like this. So the grip is, you see, it's improved now, and you also now you have a sling point. So the blaster, I detailed it. Then on the barrel, what I did was I lengthened the barrel just a little bit. I think this was about like maybe 5 inches or something like that. So, and then a stenciled Brute on both sides, a little sloppy on this side, neater on this side. So it was done in a signal yellow and dulled down with a little misting of black. So this is green, this is Army OD green with a little misting of black, about 3 coats of clear coat, bronze detailing, and then on the other side is, you see the, I love this, had this skull around for a while looking for the right project for it. So I had this skull because it's really detailed, I like it. And the backing on here is like, as you can see, it's a water slide decal. It's like a volcano, you know, volcanic, whatever. It's just earth crust or whatever. So this is on here secured. It's not glued on here. It's actually glued on here with damn, I just contradicted myself. I screwed it onto this, but then I also used a couple of drops of Gorilla Crazy Glue. I always use Gorilla Crazy Glue because thanks to Mag212, I found out, and he pointed out so adeptly, that there is a difference in what kind of crazy glue you use. So that cyanocrylate is a Gorilla Glue, which is 1 drop per ton or whatever they say, but anyway, it works. So I lengthened the barrel because it had the little short stumpy barrel on here. This one right here. So this was right here. I chopped this off because this didn't seem long enough. And when I added just that little piece, it seemed to, it helped the accuracy. Now what I think would help the accuracy more is if the, trying to reach for something, if the Brute had a flywheel cage, and you know most Busby blasters don't. The same flywheel cage was just basically two flywheels in a little platform. So okay, like the flywheels, like I said before, they were like these. These are on another project I got with these FK 180s. I lighten these. Now these flywheels that are in here look just like this, except it's 4 holes instead of 3. So it's basically, it lightens the flywheel, and the principle is the same as the flywheels that you see on drones or helicopters. You know, the gearing and the wheels, it just takes away material, you know what I'm saying, just lightens the thing, and it helps with spool up time. People argue me down, but it's just a real simple principle. You know, you like I say, you drill the holes, you have to do it right so you won't, you know, affect the balance of the flywheels, but basically it lightens them and they spool up just a tad bit quicker. So this is for a demolisher mod I got going on. So this, like I said, painted the clip and everything. Decided not to paint the magazine release and the trigger. So like I said, I really like this because with manual trigger discipline, you can shoot 1 shot or 4 auto. That's the, you know, like I said, you half pull. That's the flywheels. The rest of the way, that's the pusher mech. So no, I'm getting phenomenal rate of fire, and I haven't smelled burning motors. I've shot the voltage all the way up to 12 volts. Right now it's sitting at about 11 IMRs in the battery thing. I haven't decided to use no pack yet because I just don't want to. And everything's kind of junky and in flux right now because I'm getting ready to change residences, move, and then my workshop will no longer look like a garbage dump. So also a few tips. I went behind this, and I was going to use, because the way the wiring was designed, I was going to put a speed controller, you know, round speed controller, had the switch and everything, and using the tips from my old friend Drac, double checked everything and found out the switch was faulty, which I'm glad I found that out before I drilled a hole in the, blaster, and the switch didn't work. So I was going to have a speed controller for the flywheels and the pusher mech, so I could just slow the flywheels down just a tad and up the voltage more for the pusher mech, because it seemed to handle it. But the next one, I think I'm going to do another one and probably use 180s. So like I said, got a bunch of these FKs that I found sitting around, and you know, brand new. I didn't know I had them, so probably use them on the next project. So like I was saying about Drac telling you to double test everything, this is just a little tip that I tell people. Like, you know, like if you have a old school 12 volt battery like this, negative and positive, you can use this to test your motors, you know, test polarity or the switches you're going to use, because sometimes you may find, you know, a lever switch somewhere, or like I said, you find a tore-up microwave oven, you'll find about 3 or 4 of those, you know, heavy-duty switches, you know, that handle at least 12 volts, and you might want to use them, but you don't have a way to test them, so you either use one of these, you know, to test your motors and polarity. You can also have something like this, you know, stick a little whatever fire in there, and, you know, negative and positive to test your motors. You know, or the old school 9 volt, don't want to hear it, but the 9 volt with the negative and positive to test motors and switches. Oh yeah, this right here, this is cool. This is something I found. This is one of these spy gear. It was a handheld optics. Now what it does is when you turn the switch, this right here, you can see through it. But if you turn the switch, you know what I'm saying, you'll basically see, turn the switch, and you look through it, you won't see what's in front of you, but you'll see what's on the side of you, which I thought was neat. So I added a Nerf attachment, scope attachment, so there's something to do. So like I said, this your boy Heavy Starch. Probably won't hear from me for about a month or two. I'll be dropping a few projects here and there, but basically trying to move. So anybody who's involved in Nerf and had to move and had to pack up immense piles of blasters, you all know the pain I'm feeling right about now. So I'd like to send a shout out to my boys, Triple B, Joe the Cass, Psych, Drac, Bobo Lobo, and my boy Wildcom 7. Like I said, I told you, dude, you got the voice in that video you did for the Mastodon. Oh, that was awesome. And Rob, dude, the countdown was awesome. I really appreciate you giving me a shout out, and I like doing it. You know, I was the voice in the countdown for the Worst Blasters. Number 5. Yeah, anyway, like I say, and everybody out there, oh yeah, somebody else I've been checking out, and that's a wild dude, and that's Evan B. Nerf. You might want to check out his FB page, Facebook page. Dude is wild. I like his spirit. So to all you Nerfers out there, don't hate, congratulate, and be nice to each other. Peace.